Everyone, welcome to another wonderful Thursday evening land that I love. We have Cathy from My Hobby Home joining us. Her link will be in the description box in the box below the video. In the description box you will have the link to her channel. She is My Hobby Home, and I see we've got Linda and Susan and Rita, Chloe. You guys, thank you so much for being here and going ahead and checking in the chat. Thank you so much. Welcome in, Jean. She says hello. And Dawn is now joining the chat. She says, hi, everyone. Welcome in. Glad you're here.
Hey, Chloe. I see you there. Susan.
Yep. Everybody's filtering in.
Yeah.
And you guys,
Rita.
if you haven't already clicked the thumbs up, please hit that. That lets YouTube know you're happy to be here and you like the content. And I greatly appreciate any support you can give me by just clicking one button. And that one is free. So how are you doing today, Cathy?
I'm good. It is my Friday. So I'm good. I'm always good on Thursdays. It's my Friday. It don't matter how tired I am or what's going on. It's my Friday. So I'm good.
Well, that sounds good. What block are you doing tonight?
I am doing the evening hourglass block.
Ooh, I'm going to have to look at that.
What's up?
What page are we looking
I'm trying
for?
to cover cuts and stuff. It's that one.
Oh, that's pretty. What page are we looking for? Welcome in, Sandy and
It
Teresa.
is page 33.
33? Okay. I'm going to go take a look at that.
Jane. Teresa, Sandy, hello. Welcome.
Oh, I love it, Rita. Thank you. She says, this is an everyday Friday? No, it is not.
For me, it's not. No. And y'all, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at the comments. I'm looking in my tablet.
Hi, Cindy. Glad you are here. She says, hello.
Hey, Cindy.
Okay, I lost the page number. What page am I looking for? 38?
33.
33.
33.
Okay. That's why. I changed numbers around, you guys. My block is on page 98. It is the windmill block.
Oh, I bet that one is pretty.
Oh, I love yours, Cathy. That's a good choice. It really is. So, you guys, we are working on the Land That I Love quilt. Cathy's got more of hers up on the wall behind her than I do of mine up here beside me. I have been doing a little too much other stuff, so I'm a little bit behind. But the link for the book that we're using is in the description box below the video. You can also do !land in the chat, and that will give you a link to the book. It is called Celebrate with Quilts.
Celebrate with Quilts.
Yep. Oh, Sarah, she says hi from Mississippi. Welcome in.
Sarah.
Welcome. I haven't lived in Mississippi in a little bit. It's been a little bit. I'm using white on white, and
oh goodness,
I know
Did
better.
You remember your white light?
It is somewhere. It is somewhere in the studio. I've got a lot of half square triangles to do first, and I'm gonna have to figure out which one's right side up on those two.
Yeah.
Oh,
this block seems like it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you only have 2 half square triangles in it and then a 4-patch. And then you have solid pieces that you do for the centers and 2 of the corners.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, yours is simple. Mine is 5 pinwheels.
Yeah.
And 4 solid squares. Hi, Patty G. She says, good evening, everyone. Welcome in. Glad you are here.
Hey, yo, Patty.
Oh, Cathy. So,
yeah.
Did you remember the crown I wore on the celebration party?
Yeah, was it a Mardi Gras crown?
Well, it's one I made. It's made out of fabric, and I shipped it off. So another content creator has now worn it.
Oh, wow. Yay.
So you guys, if
Who's
you
the
want,
content creator?
the first one who got it is William over at My So Called Life.
Yeah.
So if y'all want to go check out his channel, if he stops in tonight, we'll have him do exclamation selfie and get his link in the chat. And we're just gonna basically play a game of Find the Crown. Find where it got sent to next. So the crown is going to make its rounds. And I think I know who it's going to next, but I'm not even sure.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know that I know.
What's that called? The Pants of the Traveling Sisterhood? Is that what it's going to be? It's going to be the crown of the traveling quilters?
Yep. It's Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, I think is the name of
That's it.
from the movie.
That's
and then so this will be the Fellowship of the Traveling Crown, I guess. Maybe. I don't know what he's gonna call it. I told him he gets to label it. He gets to label the hashtag for it. So we'll see what he labeled it, because I haven't checked on anything today.
Sandy, I love it.
Huh? Do what?
You see Cindy's comment? Cindy's comment. I find my brain does not work well sewing after dark. I seam ripper enough when I sew earlier in the day.
Oh gosh, Cindy, I know that feeling. Welcome in, Jean.
I do too. I do too.
Well, I have Jackie handy. I have actually used Jackie today. I don't like using Jackie, but she's here and I will use her.
Well, I just got into my sewing room because my daughter-in-law brought my grandbaby over. And I guess because of my son, he had that little ordeal happen yesterday.
Oh no.
Where he got bit by my daughter's dog, and he had to go get medical attention on it. And
ouch.
well, I'm not discounting what happened. It should not have happened. But this dog has pretty much had run of this house.
Oh.
Him and my grandson had. And my son and daughter-in-law moved in with my daughter. And Bubba has not liked that very much.
Yeah. Sometimes animals don't adjust to change very well.
Well, and my son and daughter-in-law have a little Pomeranian.
Oh, gosh.
Also. So just add insult to injury. It did not go well.
Aww.
And I know a lot of people are like, oh, if he'll bite, he's going to attack the babies. No, he was probably protecting the babies. So, and
that's rough.
I know my daughter-in-law don't like it because it's a beagle. It's a bigger dog than her little Pomeranian.
Oh,
but This little dog, he's lived in the house. Just heard it thunder. He's lived in the house his whole life.
Yeah.
So he don't know no different.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see. Aw. Patty just said that she received her happy mail. It's in the Internet is Out basket. Thank you. You're very welcome. Lady named Jackie helped me seam rip my marriage. LOL, says Jean. Oh my gosh. Because my seam ripper is named Jackie.
My goodness.
So, and a lady named Jackie helped her. We do have some Jackies that do come into the chat. So I did not name it after you, I promise. It was either going to be I was going to do Jill because Jack and Jill. But then somebody said, oh, that's kind of morbid, so let's not. So we went with Jackie. Rita says, I figured this way, I don't want my seam ripper thinking it's been forgotten, right?
Yeah.
Teresa's asking how everyone is tonight now that she's situated. And Andrea has just joined the chat. She says, howdy, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome.
Hello, Andrea.
And then let's see. Cindy says that she has a beautiful handmade seam ripper. Might as well use one that makes you happy. Yes, absolutely.
I have
Yeah.
seen some of those handmade seam rippers, and they are beautiful.
If I could get one that actually had like a blade, like this Fiskars one, like I can change out the blade, that would be, I would absolutely go for it. That's my whole problem is I need one with a blade. It's just easier for me to
Yeah.
manipulate. Um, See, Rita says dogs are going to be dogs. They do not like change, especially when other fur babies come into the situation. Yeah.
Yes.
Um, Especially when it's still a new situation. It takes a little bit of adjustment for animals, just like it does for us humans when we move. It takes some
Well, we're hoping
adjustment.
they'll have their house by March 1st. It fell through that they were going to get it on February 15th,
Okay.
but the people that's in it ended up not going to be leaving.
Oh no.
Well, they're under contract, so
Gotcha.
and I just made a mess in my machine, and it's not wanting to let go.
Hey, that's going to give me a leg up to catch up, right? Because I got
Yeah,
more half square triangles to do.
because
I,
it's telling me now I've locked my motor up.
oh
So what I
no.
do is I'm just going to cut it,
Yeah. Clean
cut the
everything
thread
out.
myself.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
let's see. Rita's saying she doesn't name any of her sewing stuff, but she does have a tendency of saying, okay, your turn for my seam ripper. So maybe that should be the name. Your turn. Yes. Yes, whatever you name whatever you call things. Let's see. Andrea says that she watched Cathy's video and had 15 minutes. So I went to check on her Swedish meatballs in the oven and do her dishes. Asked my husband to take it from there so I
Oh,
can join the live. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
y'all, if you hear anything, it's the rain. You may not be able to hear me over it.
Well, I'm having trouble
I mean,
hearing
can
you.
y'all hear it?
I can't, but I'm not on headset, so I don't know. Um,
Okay.
I don't know. Susan says that she's really tired. Unpacking is more of a chore in some ways than packing. Yes, it is. The effort to find a home for everything. Winding yardage on comic book boards. Awesome. Yes. That that is exhausting. Winding yardage. Oh my gosh, it's exhausting. But so worth it. So worth it. And yeah, finding homes for everything is definitely tough. Um, Rita says that when she introduces a new dog or new cat to her troop, the dogs are going to do the thing of who is boss. They all know that she's the boss, so that might make a difference. Yeah, it can.
Yeah. And this is somebody that's getting onto the dog that's not really in that household.
Yeah.
So, that may make a little difference.
I think it makes more than a little difference.
Yeah, because,
Oh,
my goodness, this just made a mess up in my machine.
oh my goodness. Well, Susan just got a vintage Singer and she shared it in the Facebook group. I did see that. I didn't get a lot of time to look at it in detail, but I did see it. Y'all, I have been just absolutely slammed trying to get things going, put together. I went to sew yesterday and spent more time doing admin things than sewing. And then every time I sat down to sew, I was getting text messages. So I would answer the text message because it was all important stuff. And then I would forget where I was, so I'd have to take some time, figure out where I was, and then I'd get another message that I had to handle. And it was a rinse and repeat kind of day.
Yeah.
So,
My day was kind of a wash yesterday. So,
hey,
so
so
yeah, those of y'all that talking about using Jack, I'm pulling mine out right now to fix a rat's nest on the back of my squares that I was going to make half square triangles out of. That's always fun.
well, you're just giving me
Have
time to
rats.
catch up. That's all it is. Welcome in,
I'm
Gladys. She's just the one
glad.
I learned how to sew on. Oh, that's fantastic, Susan. So the singer that she posted is the one that she learned to sew on.
Oh, wow.
Like it's the same model that she learned to sew on. And you guys, if you do have a channel, you can do the exclamation selfie as well. That is open to all of you. I did do a lot of sewing this morning. I've already got the quilt that's going home with someone in April. That's already put together. It's not pressed, but it's put together. I may add some borders to it. I haven't decided yet. But the quilt top itself, the majority of it put together. Welcome in, Lana. She's here in the chat as well now.
Hello, Lana.
Okay. Awesome.
We're going to see if I can actually get something sewn together now. I got this.
Hey, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Hey, that's better than me.
It's paladin like, oh, Mom, everybody's talking to you. They need to talk to me.
Yeah. Oh,
my cat's doing that behind me.
Y'all couldn't hear me, could you?
Huh?
Y'all couldn't hear me, could you?
Yeah. We heard you telling me to stop.
I'm so sorry. He is becoming obsessive a little bit. So I apologize, guys. I thought I had myself muted.
That's okay.
Susan says she emptied a big box that had project boxes in it. Easiest unpacking, right? I had one when I did my most recent unpacking that was all laces and trims. And they were all wound on their own little spools, so it was just a matter of moving it from one place to another.
I'm giving you more time to catch up. You know what I did?
Did you rip something you didn't mean to rip?
No, I sewed right down the center, and I got to make half square triangles.
Oh, you are giving me more time. Thank you.
Your brain is just scrambled today. It's because I didn't get to take that nap.
That's true.
Normally, I can take a nap on Thursdays when I get home, but no, that did not happen.
Oh my goodness!
But I wouldn't give it up for anything. I got to see my grandbaby, so
Linda saying
that's what counts.
Linda said that she just picked up her Bernina from an overhaul and cleaning. Can't wait to get her up and running this weekend. Her name is Bernie. That's fantastic.
That's what mine is. Yeah, I will be putting my Bernina in the shop for servicing probably in 2 to 3 weeks. They told me to give them a call in about a week and a half to find out when they're available to work on it. And I'm like, well, I just rolled a million stitches. But that could be the problem why my thread always breaks. I've got a lot of problem with that.
Yeah, it could be. That definitely could be.
But I have had a lot of people tell me also to use different threads. And I know Metler came with my machine because my machine came with a lot of additional things.
Yeah.
And I know it came with Metler thread, and I have heard that it likes Metler, but I'm like, what about the needles? I don't know what needle to use for everything. I'm so used to
I use
using
Schmetz.
Well, see, I use Schmetz as well, but I just don't know what number to use. It's like
I actually bought a bulk pack.
I always use
80/20s.
Okay, because I use a lot of the 90, what is it, 9014, 90.
Yeah, 9014.
90, yeah, I can't remember what they are.
Yeah. So the 90s are great
that's what I use. That's what I use to sew garments as well.
Yeah, the 90s are more for thicker fabrics and thicker projects. For piecing, some people use even a 70 for piecing.
I do have some 70s, and I think that's the one I normally use for embroidery.
Okay. I actually match the needle for embroidery to how many stitches the embroidery is going to have. So it's a very thick stitch out, or I'm stitching through
Okay.
some very thick material, then I increase the size of the needle to embroider with.
Okay.
So I
Well,
match
I'm
it to
just going to talk to
projects.
my dealer, and I'm going to say I need to know what needle to use for quilting, piecing. Then I need one for garment because they're going to know more about Bernina than I am. I just sew on it. I don't know nothing about them.
Well,
I don't even know about the jump side to side. I've got that on this machine.
uh,
But what is that even for? I
it
don't know what that's
is.
for.
It's when you do some decorative stitches, you can do wider than 9 millimeter. So your stitch plate is open to 9 millimeter wide.
Well, no, I mean on my foot pedal, I can press to the right or the
Oh,
left, and my needle will actually move over.
oh, I haven't done that one yet.
And wait, no, it don't move the needle. It moves the fabric.
Yeah, yeah, it's the V
I've done that a
dots.
lot and messed up.
I
So I don't know.
would think there would be a way to
You know,
turn
I
that off too, if you wanted to.
I still haven't done the classes that I was supposed to when I got my machine because I was like,
Ooh.
I need to be sewing.
The
So I
classes,
wasn't really worried.
the mastery classes do a
Okay.
lot. They're
The
absolutely.
110/18, no matter what you're doing. Okay, Rita, I've never seen a 110/18.
Yeah, the
So
one.
what is that for? Is that like a universal?
Well, the first number is the American sizing. The so like when I said 90, or you're using a 90/14, I'm using an 80/12. That first number, that 90 or that 80, those are American numbers for it. That the second number is the European number, so that's the only difference
Okay.
on that. The 87, you can get all the way down. I want to see, I've seen 65 weight needles, but I don't think I've seen a 60 or 50. Um, the smaller the needle, the thinner the shaft of the needle is.
Okay.
So the smaller of hole it will make. The larger the needle, the bigger the hole it will make, and therefore the stronger it's going to be overall. So the more, the bigger it can pierce through. So like if you're working with heavier duty materials, you'd want to increase the size of your needle. And then you can also match it to your
Okay.
thread. So
Okay.
like what I'm sewing with now is the Essentials by Connecting Threads, and it's 50 weight thread, and 80 weight needle is fine with it. I wouldn't want to go down to a 65 weight needle because the needle hole may be a little too thin for it. And
Yeah.
then if you go up to a 90 or 100 or 110, then
I'm
you're
actually
possibly going to have a much larger hole for your thread. And there's also
I'm
top
not
stitching
actually
needles on
sure.
jeans and all that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what needle I'm using right now. I think the color band on it is green.
Oh, I don't know the conversion on that. That's based off of manufacturer. Um, so let's see. Chloe says her sister-in-law dropped off 6 large trash bags of fabric. That's fantastic. I'm kind of jealous. Um, yeah, I've heard of keepsake quilting. We're looking at keepsake quilting. Where's a good place to get reproduction fabric? Is the question Andrew was asking. Reproduction Civil War fabric. Trying to catch up with Jess on the CW blocks, and I'm getting short on fabric for it. Jess would also. Hey, Jess is in the chat now. Jess, where do you get your Civil War fabric? Put that in the chat if you will. Susan says last summer that she kind of on purpose scheduled her trip to New York so she wouldn't go to the big fabric sale her guild did. Got home to 3 grocery bags full of fabric on her doorstep. Oh my gosh. Oh, and it's not cotton. It's other stuff. That's okay. Other stuff
Fabric is fabric.
Yeah, fabric is fabric.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
You can
absolutely.
always make something out of fabric.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. She says it's fleece, flannel, and fabric for costumes. Um, if you want to send me flannel, yes, I will take flannel. Don't send me any of the others because I don't have a lot of use for it. Um, Fleece does really great for like you could make like scarves and like you could bolt make braided things out of fleece, but I don't do a lot of fleece. But I do work with flannel.
I use fleece for my batting for my small projects
Oh,
because
okay.
somehow I ended up with a piece of fleece. I don't know why. And I'm like, I'll just use it as batting instead of actually using my batting up.
Yeah, I could probably that I could repurpose some fleece that we've got at the sewing lab for that, but I've already got too much fleece in the sewing lab, so my first day in the sewing lab is going to be this Saturday.
Yay!
I'm both nervous, terrified, and I don't know what to expect. I don't know how many people are going to show up. I don't know anything. I'm just going to be there and we're going to take it as it goes.
Okay, y'all, I know it's lightning over here because my phone just did a clickety thing.
Okay.
So
So if we lose Cathy, y'all,
I may have a tornado. Pray
yeah,
for me.
we will definitely be praying for you. I will
I
finish.
have no ruby red slippers, so pray for me.
Do we need to let you go so you can go find your ruby red slippers first?
I'm good.
Okay, if we're sure.
I got my slippers on, but they not ruby red.
I had to figure out which direction my pinwheels need to go. I'm chain piecing, so I chain piece the half square triangles and I left them on the machine and just cut off enough to make one pinwheel so that I can just start feeding the pinwheels in as I go. Let's see. Rita says that she uses fleece all the time instead of batting for when it is less expensive. It is, you're right. I think my main concern with using fleece is I need to know the content of what goes into all of my quilts right now. So, fleece tends to be polyester, and I'm trying to stick with just cotton for the moment. So I think that's where my hesitation to accept fleece right now is. Oh, let's see. They're talking about that. Let's see, Etsy and Fat Quarter Shop, and Pambuda Fat Quarter Shop for the Civil War fabrics. Gonna check Etsy tomorrow. Yay! Yeah, I'm just reading stuff. Welcome in, Lori. She says hi, ladies. Oh, I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
I didn't confuse myself. I didn't forgot which fabric was which letter.
Oh, so you're giving me more time. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. You can have more time.
That's
I
my.
just don't know how I do this because somehow I've got it mixed up. But you know what? It's not going to matter as long as my colors are different. So
Oh
I
yeah.
keep. But what I do is I refer back to the see if it's got that actual one somewhere in the quilt.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think mine has it. Oh no. Chloe says that she got her package today, but the post office ripped it open. She got
Oh man.
Yeah, she got the Angelina fibers and she's excited to try them out. I'm excited for you. They're a lot of fun. Welcome in, Linda. Uh,
Hello, Linda.
and then Susan said that she made scarves with fleece that she donated to the cold weather shelter here. Awesome. So I found when we were going through the sewing lab, I did find fleece, and I found like they all had a slit in them, and I couldn't understand why. And I found later on a project sheet that explained what they were doing with them, and it was making some kind of really, really, like, very, very fine little bitty scarf thing. And me and the project our program director were both like, no, no, we're good. um, Rita says that some of the fleece she has is 100% cotton and others are 70% recycled poly and 30% poly. Yeah, and see, I don't really want to test it all. So Chloe says that she thinks the contents were fine. Yeah, as long as they didn't like get melted, they should be okay. So sending it out during the winter was kind of kind of why I planned to send it this time of year. Oh, you guys are so funny. Andrea was having storms too. Speaking of Kansas, Rita, I heard we lost some of my favorite Olympic figure skaters in that crash in DC last night. The crash is so sad. Any life lost is tragic. Praying for families. Yeah, absolutely. There needs to be a lot of prayers going out to those families. Ooh, Sandy's throwing out some help here. She says Bear Creek Quilting has a lot of Civil War production fabric.
Yes, they do. I forgot about that. Stitch in Heaven has a whole section of Civil War era fabrics.
Okay.
Because when I was there February of last year, I think I got some of it.
Okay.
Now, I do know that I got some French General because that was the main fabrics that I wanted to get was French General.
Yeah. I honestly can say that I probably may have one piece of Civil War reproduction in my stash. If I'm being generous. I probably don't have any. It's not something I sew with a lot. Or maybe at all. I don't know. I don't know. There might be some things in my stash that could go with Civil War reproduction. There's probably not Civil War reproduction. I mean, I might have a few things probably in the scrap part. Andrea's making a list. The Civil War quilt that Jess has been doing on her channel is a kit from Stitch in Heaven. Oh, okay. So, yeah. They should still have some then.
Yeah, they have like a whole I mean, it's a pretty nice section.
Missouri Star does actually have a good section of Civil War reproduction. I don't know the pricing. Rita says that she had to go look at her bookmarks. Tubi's fabric has some also. Jess, please be careful. She says she's talking into her phone, so if things don't make sense, just let her know because she's driving too.
Oh, that's okay.
As long as you're driving and listening and not driving and watching. You're not supposed to see us. We're invisible people.
Well, my phone never can understand me, ever. So I always end up with crazy stuff.
Rita says, just that is funny as I do that, and what I say does not always type correctly. Okay, so you guys, that is one of the funniest things too. So we have one of the Amazon devices in my apartment. We actually have two of them. And you know what you say to get an Amazon device to wake up, right? Well, sometimes my husband can't say her name. Like he'll yell at her to tell her to do something, and she don't listen. One time he was trying to turn on the TV and open Netflix or something or open something on the TV. She started the Roomba. She started the vacuum cleaner.
Oh my goodness, that's funny now.
Jess says she can't see us. We're on her lap. She can only hear us. We're getting to ride in Jess's lap. Woohoo! Oh, so Jess is now Santa Claus. Susan says that she's sorting a box of scraps. Small or narrow pieces are going into the tub or crumb blocks. Awesome, Susan. Yeah, so guys, I cut for the February project, we're doing charm squares, right? And so I cut 84 charm squares out of one box of my scraps. And I still had more scraps that went in that box that I could have cut 5-inch squares out of. Um, so yeah,
That thing, I thought you had an AccuQuilt. Do you not have a 5-inch?
I have one that has a 5-inch square on it. Um, but it has other, designs on that same
Uh,
board. And I really
yeah.
hate
Okay.
when I accidentally lay it over too far. And so I
Okay.
could have done that. Chloe says, Charm Scares, woohoo! Hey, I told you guys, if you want me to work with pre-cuts, we'll work with pre-cuts. The April project, in case you guys want to know, um, is using 2.5-inch pieces. Like, not 2.5-inch squares for everything, so don't cut everything to 2.5-inch squares. But if you have jelly roll strips you want to use, you will be able to use them. Let's see. Rita says she doesn't want that in her house. She hates everything, or she has everything connected, but no, not typing name. I just turn it on and I have to end up turning it off. Not fun when the TV starts talking to me.
See, I don't have any kind of devices like that in my house. We don't, because we had a situation with one of the baby monitors.
Uh huh.
Yeah, we were one of those families that heard people talking on the baby monitor, and we were like, nope.
Yeah, I can understand
So we
that.
don't have anything in our house that's like that. We will never have a smart house because that makes me scared. I really don't like that.
Well, my lights here in the studio are lights that are by our bed. Um, oh, thank you, Chloe. She says your land that I love looks great to me. Yeah, it's not all assembled. It just looks like it is. um, yeah, the lights in here, the lights in my bedroom, not the overhead, just the lamps there. My fans, all of my fans have Wi-Fi. My heaters don't. They're more of a fire risk, so I wouldn't put them on it anyway. Um, let's see, my Roomba and my two my TVs. Now sometimes she turns on the wrong TV because she can't understand what we're saying.
Thank you, Chloe. Yes, I finally have. I don't have my design wall up. My final design wall is actually a wall. It's like a partition that I'm going to be able to put my cloth on, and it'll be bigger. My cloth is way bigger than what you see. It's just
Awesome.
that's all I got to hang it with right now.
Jess was saying, "Ho ho ho, Merry Quiltmas." um, Susan is sorting by color. The making pre-cuts will come later. Yeah, I haven't even sorted by color. Um, so what originally happens when somebody gives me scraps or I make my own scraps is it goes into a basket. And if there's room to put it in one of the totes, then it goes into the tote. But if there's not any room, then they just stay in the baskets until I go start going through the tote. And what I will do is I'll dump the entire tote out and I will press every single scrap. And I will cut what I want out of whatever I'm putting back before I put it back as I'm going through it. It took me a couple of days to go through the one bucket that I went through, but I got my 84 5-inch squares, and I may go and pull a couple of more, but I was also trying to only cut one 5-inch square out of anything, so I didn't have duplicates because I don't want duplicates. Um, let's see. Rita says that she has them only because she's almost blind, so I have to use them on occasion. I understand that. Welcome in, Ollie. Ollie just came in and says hi, Cathy and Tammy. Thank you, Ollie.
Hello,
Uh,
Ollie. How are you doing?
And then Rita says, my dog singing sometimes turns the big 55-inch on in the other room. The dogs get the TV to start changing channels. Oh my goodness. Oh, none of mine do that. Mine don't respond to the dog bark. My husband also occasionally asks our Amazon device to do things that would require her to have arms and legs. And so she like goes, well, I don't know what you were asking for. Like, it is quite funny to hear those conversations. Yes, going good. Ollie says going really good today. I hope all are doing good. Thank you, Ollie. We appreciate that. We are working on
It's my Friday.
Huh?
I said it's my Friday.
And Cathy's
So,
way ahead of me.
So I am doing really good. It's my Friday.
Susan says she'll make 2.5-inch squares and 5-inch squares when she gets around to it. The April project is going to be 2.5 by 4.5. So they're rectangles. So I was cutting some of those as I was going. You'll need a lot of them.
Is that a potato chip size?
Huh?
The 2.5 by 4.5. Is that a potato chip size?
It's the same size, but we're not
The
doing but we're not doing a potato chip out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I asked that is because I am cutting fabric at that size already for a potato chip quilt, but
Okay.
Wait, when are you going to do that one?
April.
You know which weekend?
Not yet. Well, maybe I do.
Okay.
Hang on. Maybe I do. Let me grab my calendar. Ugh. Let's see how flexible I can be. Let's see. April. I don't have it down for a weekend yet, but I was thinking probably the 26th.
Okay.
Because I've got Quilts of Valor stuff going on that first weekend. I've got a class that I'm teaching the second weekend. I've got a program going on the third weekend. So the fourth weekend is really kind of the only time we can do it.
Yeah. Okay, so, Chloe says I can be swayed. What am I being swayed at? What am I being swayed at?
Oh, let me see.
I know.
Cathy, she's trying to say that you can be swayed to do my project instead of your potato chip quilts.
Oh.
Yes, Ollie. He's asking, the quilt top you're both working on is what is hanging up in the background of both streams? Yes. So the blue blocks, the blue star blocks that are in both presentations is what we were working on in November. In December, we were putting together the white and red dandy stars. And it's, if you're looking at Cathy's, the second red block down where it's white and then the big red star in the middle, that's what December's blocks were. Mine are not up on the wall. Mine are done, but they're not up on the wall. I've been working on other projects. So I will be getting mine up, I'm hoping, by this week. Let's see. Yes, Chloe was saying to make Tammy's quilt that you can be swayed.
Oh, yeah. The reason I was asking which weekend, because I think it's the first weekend, maybe, or maybe the second weekend of April that I'll be at Stitching Heaven.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I will have Cathy show it on her camera, because I've got cutting to do. But we'll show in just a minute. It is going to look very similar to U.S. flag. Yeah,
what is it? What are we looking at? The picture?
Ollie is asking, so it is going to look sort of like the U.S. flag. Yeah, it's going to be very close to it.
Okay.
Oh, yay! Yeah, your block is done. I'm still trimming my pinwheels. Or trimming the half square triangles for the pinwheels. I chose a hard block.
There you go.
Yay!
I'm about to knock stuff over here, so.
Rita
And I don't have a light on that.
Rita says, I just realized, what do you have the camera put on for behind the machine? I actually have it on a tripod. I've got 2 tripods in the room. So I've got the camera that faces me is actually on a hanging tripod. It's actually wrapped around the shelving unit. It's kind of the shelving unit where my computer is in front of me is kind of like the shelving unit behind me. Yes, there's Cathy's book, and that
I'm
is
trying to do the light where it's not glaring.
Yeah, that's that land that I love. That's what we're working on making. Cathy chose her own fabrics. Mine all came from a kit, and I will probably have plenty of fabric left over. So I may be adding a little bit of fabric and making another one. So we shall see. It's definitely a beast of a quilt to put together, trying to do it all in one day or anything like that. Definitely would not do it that way. King size. No, it's actually, I don't even know what size it is.
I can give you the measurements on that.
Yeah.
Once it is done, it is going to be an 85 by 68.
Okay.
But I can see putting like a navy blue and a red border around it and making it bigger.
Well, honestly, if you were to adjust the sizes of everything, instead of doing the 3-inch blocks for the blue stars, if you did the 6-inch and then did 12-inch for the others, that would just upsize everything. But you'd have to calculate your resize for everything else too.
Yeah.
Oh,
because it only shows the 6 and the 3.
Yeah. Yeah, there'd be a lot of recreation. Andrea says she's gotten into the habit of cutting her scraps into squares and strips when she finishes kitting up a project. Put some in zipper bags and have a filing system for her different sizes. I wish I was that organized. We're not telling William that I'm not. But I wish I was that organized. My system is working, but I don't always know what sizes I'm going to need. So that's part of the reason I don't pre-kit. Lana says that she got her book but wasn't able to pull fabrics when she went home. Ran out of propane and her house was freezing. Oh no! That's awful.
Lana, you should be here with me then. I literally have a pair of shorts on and I have my heat cut off. It's been 70 degrees here today.
Oh gosh.
But that means tornadoes. So, yeah.
Andrea, can you read Andrea's comment? Because I have.
Okay. My brother's memorial will be April 26th, so I will be behind on that one. I will be traveling to Missouri if I am able. Okay. It depends on if her van and wheelchair are functioning by then. Oh. Well, rough. Andrea, my prayers are with you, hon, because I know that's got to be difficult. A family member, especially your brother.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine. I only have one brother. Well, I have one brother, an adopted brother, and a stepbrother. I have 3 brothers, but I have one full-blooded brother. So, and I cannot imagine.
I have one brother, so.
There was a period of time when he was in Afghanistan. He's a soldier. Okay. And there was a period of time that we couldn't get a hold of him, and we even went through Red Cross and couldn't get him. He was technically, well, he wasn't MIA, but for us, he was MIA because we could not get him. And the bad thing was I was on the FRG, which is the Family Readiness Group. So I should have been hearing all of this stuff directly from the commanding officers, and we couldn't find him.
Oh, goodness.
So, yeah, so I can see that point of it about being, terrified, but the actual loss of a sibling, that has got to be awful.
Rita was saying something about note to self, don't tell William. Wait, forgot what was supposed to not tell William.
There you go. Exactly. That's what we're saying.
We're going to go that Tammy is more organized than she actually is. All right.
If y'all could just see my sewing room right now, it is horrible. Horrible. But I am trying to pull projects out and get them ready. That's why I postponed my second destash until yes, Allie. He was in Afghanistan. He said they could actually see the when they shoot, you could some of them have lights on them, so you can trace them. And he said they were hearing bombs and shots all night, every night. So it was pretty scary because he was real close to Pakistan, but he was in Afghanistan.
That's why these kinds of quilts are just so important, because they can provide comfort to our veterans who've seen all of that firsthand, because nothing prepares you for it. No matter what kind of training you go through, nothing prepares you for it.
And he was a completely different person when he come home.
Yeah.
Completely different. And now he works right next door to me at the Veteran Cemetery. He's the superintendent there, and they actually received a state award for their cemetery.
Oh.
And yeah, he said he had to go to Shreveport and help them get their headstones out, because they had lots and lots of headstones just laying in their warehouse that needed to be put up for people that were already buried. It's like, that is so disrespectful.
It is. It definitely is.
Yeah, so. But yeah, that I'm trying to read here. Lana says, Chloe, I'm staying at Mom's house, taking care of her until she passes. Oh, Lana, every now and then I get to go check on my house. Oh. Jess says, lips are zipped.
That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't have picked something with so many half square triangles and not gotten started early. I totally needed a head start.
Andrea says she has five brothers. The oldest two are gone, so she is now the oldest of her siblings now.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
My husband's oldest brother has passed several years ago, and so the next oldest brother, he's really feeling he's the oldest now. That's a mental struggle.
Yeah. And a lot falls on the oldest sibling too. The oldest sibling is expected to mediate all the family things, and oh, he was 70. Andrea's brother was 70, had a massive coronary. He'd been sick for a while.
I'm sorry. That's it. Even though he was sick for a while, it's still never an easy loss.
It's still a loss, and I'm going to say this from experience, but not from a sibling. Sometimes it is a relief if you've had to see them suffer.
Oh,
now, you're going to miss them. There is no doubt about that. You're going to miss them.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, wow, Rita. Rita says her hubby lost his two older sisters and his brother, I'm thinking this year or last year or within the last year. He is the youngest of 7 kids. There is 18-year span when he was born. Yes, Lana, loss is loss. It's very hard. It is.
18-year span. Oh my goodness. Wow. My husband's oldest brother, the one that's already passed on, He and his oldest brother were 10 years apart. So, and there were 5 of them.
Well, I tell you what, if there was an 18-year span between my youngest two, I would need a nut house. Because that would mean I would have like a 4-year-old right now.
Oh, gosh.
Think about it in them terms. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I'm good.
I'm soon to be 53, and me with a 4-year-old? No, I would be a drinker.
I would have a 2-year-old.
Huh?
I would have a 2-year-old if there was an 18-year difference. No, not doing it.
Jess is at home now.
Yay!
Good. We're glad you made it safe.
Well, she's at least partially safe. She's safe enough to talk to type.
Oh, Lana, I am so sorry. She says she had to take her hubby off life support, and he was only 41.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
That was over 6 years ago, and she still feels the loss. You will still feel it. Yesterday marked, 20 years yesterday that my stepdad has been gone. He died at the age I am right now.
Oh, gosh.
He died at the age of 52. And I was talking to my husband about it, and I'm going to try to do this without tearing up because I just broke down boohooing this morning with my husband on the phone driving to work. It's been a rough 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks are the anniversary of my grandfather, my brother-in-law, and my stepdad all passing. They all passed in January. So it's been a really rough past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I know this weekend is going to be rough too because, my mom, she posted on Facebook, and because she always does a memory for him every year. My little brother, my adopted brother, was only 14 when he passed away.
Oh, no.
And yeah, that's a very hard time for a teenage boy.
Yeah.
And he lost his way for so long. And so, it's been about 20 years. My adopted brother just now, I'd say within the last 5 or 6 years, got his life straight.
Oh, gosh.
So it's really hard on the children too. But my mom, still to this day, she's never remarried. They were now. This does not discount my mom and dad. My mom and dad grew apart. They were very young when they got married. They grew apart.
Okay.
But my mom and my stepdad were like 2 peas in a pod. They were like the same person, just one a female version, one a male version.
Oh, okay.
So it was, and my stepdad was a jokester and all that, but it's really hard. Even 20 years later, I can tell you right now that my mom and my little sister both probably went to his graveside yesterday.
Gotcha.
Because it really was hard to deal with because it was a long, hard death. He was diabetic, and they had to amputate his leg, and when they finally had to go above the knee, I think he gave up. And a week after they amputated above his knee, he passed.
Oh, no.
So, Lana, I'm not going to say you forget them because you never forget them. No. But it seems the further away from the death we get, we remember more of the good things. Yeah. We don't necessarily remember. Oh, she says her grandmother went unresponsive in her arms 1 year. Oh, yeah. I got these Asian beetles in my sewing room now.
Oh, no.
I noticed we had some in my living room. They look like ladybugs.
Welcome in, Terry. I happened to look up long enough
Did
to
I miss
see.
Terry?
Yep.
Hey, Terry, I did, girl. I missed you all the way. I missed you.
I didn't.
Well,
Kathy's
my
chatting for
chat
me.
just scrolls, and oh no, Andrea, you're not bringing the chat down.
No. This is part of life. This is stuff that
The
happens in
point
life.
is to love your family or love your friends and family hard, because
Mm-hmm.
one day you won't have, but you'll have all them wonderful memories.
Yep.
So
I
so
hope
now
they
that's what we think about. It's not, huh?
I hope they didn't put directions in here about which way I was supposed to press these.
Oh, they did. They put directions in there.
Oh well.
It's not going to matter. It just means if your block goes together better or not.
Uh, it's gonna go together the way it goes together.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, Susan, she says she's got 3 brothers and 1 sister.
I wish I came from a big family, but I don't. I have one
Yeah.
brother, and I know
I
he's
have
somewhere in
two
Washington State.
sisters. Yeah. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother that we all have the same mom and dad. Then I have a stepbrother that's between me and my older sister because she and I are the 2 oldest. But he's between us, my stepbrother is. And
Yeah.
then my adopted brother is the youngest. He's like really young. I was 16 when my mom and stepdad adopted my little brother. So
Always.
that was a 16, well, it wasn't that bad because I've got little sister that my little brother is 6 years younger than me, so that makes my little sister about 8 years younger than me. So
Oh,
it was only 8 year difference there.
that's true, Lana. She says we all have
Yes,
loss and
mom.
struggle. We can all relate to some degree. And she says if it weren't for her
Yes.
online friend, she'd be a royal mess. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've met
Yeah.
me, right? You've met me.
Yes.
She typed that for me too. I yeah. There's a lot that you guys help me with, even if you don't know. There's a lot.
Yes, Cindy. They are horrible here. Um, I noticed my cat was playing with something on the floor in the living room when my grandbaby was here, and I thought my grandbaby was trying to feed the cat one of her yogurt raisins, and I don't want my cats to have stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so we checked it out. It was one of those beetles. Oh
Oh
my
no.
goodness. I hadn't seen any until that one, and then I started looking and I had 6 on my ceiling.
Oh
And I'm just
gosh.
like, I'm going to have to break the vacuum cleaner out because I can't go to bed with those on the ceiling.
No, no. I would have to do like mosquito netting and have like one of those 4-poster beds with mosquito netting all around me. No, I could not do it.
Hey, Joyce, how are you doing?
Oh, welcome
Yes,
in,
Lana.
Joyce.
We love you too, Lana. We appreciate you being here with us.
You are part of our community. You're part of our network.
Yes. That's one thing I have seen in the quilting community is it don't matter if you are a 10,000 subscriber person or a 300 subscriber person, or you're just a viewer. The community is absolutely fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Love to help people. You know, we love on people. We love to share our knowledge. We love to receive knowledge. That's
Yeah.
more me.
No, that's everybody. That's everybody. Um,
Oh, Susan.
what I'm missing it.
She says her last cousin passed in early December.
Oh.
So what made it almost okay was knowing that he is now reunited with his twin who lost his life in Laos during the Vietnam War.
Aw.
Well, that is a sweet sentiment.
Welcome in, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
I'm finally to where I can start pressing these, I think.
Yeah, I guess I picked a really easy time.
I didn't realize I was
It come
picking.
out perfect. Look,
I didn't think
I
I was
mean,
pick.
it come out perfect.
I didn't think I was picking a hard one, but apparently I was.
Oh yeah, with all them half square triangles. Uh-huh.
Well, I should have gotten a head start. That's what it is. I should have gotten a head start. Welcome in, Judy. She says hi. Sorry I'm late. You're fine.
Hi, Judy.
Glad you're here.
Yes, Andrea, that is so true. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Sherry, is it Sherry
Yes.
Yurton, my quilting world?
Yep. Yep. That's Sherry.
Hello. I'm waving back at you, Sherry.
I'm spinning my seams as I go. I think it's hard just because I think part of it I'm delayed because of my wrist brace.
Yeah.
But I've been pushing myself today, so I need to protect it as much as I can. So, and I got more sewing to do when I get off of here.
I do too. I have an embroidery project that I want to do from that Me Time Perfectly piece. I want to do the Valentine Day pillow
Okay.
because y'all it's almost February. So I gotta get some Valentine stuff out. I still got Christmas up.
Well, your tree's gone.
Oh, the one in here is gone, but the one in my living room is still up. Literally, that tree and my front door wreath are the only two things that came down.
Oh my goodness.
Everything else is still up. My grandbaby wanted to play with the balls on the tree tonight. I almost gave her a box and said, "Baby, let's have a game and see how many we can get in the box."
Oh, Judy says she was celebrating her husband's birthday today with family, and they just left to go home. Happy birthday to him, Judy.
Oh, so that's fabulous. Love birthdays.
I do too, kind of. Um, but not all the time.
Yeah, I always surprise my kids for their birthdays. Like this past year, my oldest daughter, her birthday's November 7th.
Okay.
Well, I I didn't call her on her birthday, but her boyfriend and I had been collaborating.
Ooh.
We'd been working up a plan.
Oh.
So we kind of did a surprise birthday dinner. And it was just a few of us there. My sister and her husband were there, my dad, and my stepmom was there. And all of my kids were there, and their significant others and their babies. They were all there. So when she walked in, she thought he was just bringing her to eat at that restaurant. And we surprised her for her 28th birthday.
Hi, Cindy. Thank you for being here. She says, "Gotta go. Hope to see you next week."
Oh,
Yes.
yes, Cindy. We'll see you later.
Let's see. Ollie said, or Chloe says, "I hope you had a great birthday, Judy." Yes. Judy just got her wreath off her door. Um, Ollie says that his quilting entry was the opposite way around. He joined Treadalon and met all sorts of quilters there. They would help me quilt-wise, and I would help treadle-wise. Awesome. I have never actually sat down to a treadle, but I don't know that I could handle it just for the amount of motion that it requires.
I won't sit down at a treadle. The only time I ever did, I ended up with stitches in my hand.
Oh
Yeah. Yep. This hand right here. You could still I did it when I was like 4 years old.
no. Oh.
And I mean that was so traumatizing. And I mean, I've almost outgrown that. And I mean, it went right over the knuckle there too.
Oh
But
gosh.
my parents tell me that it was laid open and it looked like a chicken bone.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, yeah, that don't sound fun. But I don't even know how I did it. I don't know if if it was something broke on the machine and I pulled my hand across it and it cut it. I don't know if it was the needle. I was only 4. I don't remember nothing about it, but I remember the machine
Oh
because it was
gosh.
our next door neighbor's house. And we called them Ma and Pa, even though we were not related to them.
Yeah.
But they were just like our grandparents. We go over there and play, and Paul would let us go swimming in his horse trough, and we played over there. We did what country kids did.
Yeah.
And I remember in their front bedroom of their house, Ma always had a quilt form hanging up on the ceiling. She had all of her sewing stuff in there. And
Okay.
that's where that sewing machine was in that front bedroom.
Yeah. Well,
I
I've
would
got.
love to walk in that old house.
I am
But
almost to the point of getting this put together.
oh, you got them all made.
they're all attached to each other. Now I just got to manipulate with my hand.
Ah,
Oh, all he got is nail crushed by the needle clamp, and I've got his big toe under the treadle pedal. Both her. Oh, I bet.
oh. Yeah, Andrea says she learned on a treadle when she was 7 years old. Her great grandma had to put 2 catalogs on the treadle so she could reach it to pump it. I bet.
That's so funny. Judy got 6 more t-shirts to put interfacing on, then ready to start putting back together. See, that is why I did not take your quilting challenge the other night. It ain't happening. She was challenging me to see who could finish all of their quilt tops and battings and backings. Like who could get them all quilted first. I can't take that challenge right now. I fully admit I would
neither.
lose.
I can't seem to get a border on my Cotton Cuts Tree of Life. I mean, I don't know why. I just can't seem to get it done. I don't have the push to get it done.
Sherry, yes, it
Sherry,
is.
yes, her hand is. Yeah, Sherry's asking if your hand's bothering you again. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it is.
Yeah. So I was supposed to see the surgeon this month in January, and I can't go see her this month. So we've had to push it off until I have insurance to cover me. The conversation that I just had this morning, they're saying that they still have another possibly 45 days plus 90 days to make decisions as to whether or not they're going to cover me. So I will be out of all the meds that my doctors managed to prescribe and get me enough supply of. I will be out of all of them by then. So I don't know what kind of state I'm going to be in by the time I actually get coverage. It's a mess. And so all the therapy I was going to that was helping with my wrist, I can't go to anymore. Oh, all right. Let me press it.
Thank you, Judy.
Oh. This almost looks like Christmas. It doesn't quite. It's going to look patriotic, but it almost looks like Christmas.
Yeah, I'm using a lot of Christmas fabrics actually. This one right here. Well, actually, this one and this one. Well, I only have 3 different fabrics. The reds are all Christmas fabrics.
Oh, as long as they look patriotic enough, then they work.
Yeah, they work perfect. Now, I was going to ask you the Quilts of Valor. What is the size on those?
We're looking for 60 by 80 as the standard size. There's a.
Do they have to be red, white, and blue, or can they be just red and white?
Yeah, they could just be red and white. They don't necessarily have to have blue. They could be blue and white and not red.
Yeah.
It's more that we're trying to look for either patriotic fabrics or patriotic themes. Let me see. I don't know how far I'm going to have to dig. Let me grab real quick. I can tell you because there's a big size and then the small size. Because they don't want it to be smaller than a certain size.
Yeah.
And then they don't want it
I have
bigger.
that red and white quilt from Creative Notions, and I was thinking if I could do a donation of that quilt for Quilts of Valor.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to have it quilted. If I can do that, I'm just going to send it to somebody.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I know a lot of places, if you do donate a quilt, they'll quilt it.
Correct.
You know, at no charge.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll quilt it because they'll quilt it following their recommendations. Let's see.
And I have no idea how big that quilt is.
Well, I know my group will add borders if we need to add borders. Or we could
I
take
can send the border fabric to them.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can always add borders if we need to. I have it, but I'm not finding it.
Okay, just email it to me. That'd be fine. Because I'll need to find somebody to do that, because the red and white just really isn't something that I'll do in my house.
Yeah.
I thought it would be cool for a Valentine quilt, but I have other quilts that I think that'll be better for Valentine quilts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because that's very red and very white.
Ollie says, Tammy, if you did red, white, and green for the flag, you would be in some trouble. Yes. Here it needs to be red, white, and blue. We also do military themes. So, like if you have Army fabric or Air Force or Coast Guard or Marine Corps, if you have those kinds of fabrics, you can use that too. Andrea says that she keeps losing us. It's storming. They're having hurricane force winds tonight with the front coming through. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're in the winds too, Andrea. It's been really bad here. I've already lost a few tree limbs in my front yard. I'm terrified to look at my backyard. It probably looks like a lake. I mean, it always goes underwater.
Yeah, Susan says that a lot of the Quilts of Valor quilts, the group she was in before it folded, a lot of the quilts that they made were string blocks and gold strips were added. Yes, definitely gold too, like gold for stars and, I mean anything. If we can't purpose it into a quilt, like we use cream as well as white, we use tan, we use gold. If we can't purpose it into the quilt, we have other groups that can take whatever fabric if it's not, red, white, and blue. So yeah, we can work it out, whatever we need to do.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, that sounds good to me.
So yep. So this is my block for tonight, and then there's Cathy's. So we have now completed 2 more blocks, and we've gotten through January. So we've now done 4 of the. How many are we doing?
I don't remember how many it said. Was it 32?
It might be.
Or am I completely off on that one?
I don't know. Hang on. Let's see. I'll see. I can't flip pages with this thumb. Okay. Let's see. We are doing a total of 28 of the sampler. So we're 4 weeks through the 28 sampler weeks. Welcome in, Melanie. We're actually about to head out for the day, so you'll have a replay to watch. But yeah, so we're 4 weeks through the 28 weeks of samplers. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Well,
slowly but surely.
Huh?
I said slowly but surely we're getting there.
Yeah. Well, some projects are better done slowly.
Yes. So, and y'all, my chat has froze up. It's not even moving no more. So
yeah, internet is not being kind to us tonight. So I apologize for that. I want to thank everybody for coming out, for hanging out with us for as long as you could. If you've not hit that thumbs up like button, please do so. If you are not subscribed to Cathy's channel, her link is in the description box below our video here tonight. Please click that and go over and support Cathy's channel over at My Hobby Home as well. If you have any questions about this project, you can always comment on this video as well. You can also go over to Cathy's channel and comment and ask her questions as well. We want to thank everybody for being here and chatting with us tonight. Have a good and have a safe evening for everyone who's going through storms tonight. We will see you guys same time, same place next week to continue to work on Land That I Love. Thank you. Bye.